Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're just going to do some reading today. So there's some interesting theories and information out there right now about the Galactic Federation. And so you should know that this isn't something new. It's something very old. In fact, I found a news article that is 44 years old. And this is a theory posed by a UFO investigator, and that's why I'm here to we're just going to read through a newspaper article, and that way I can help educate everyone about where this theory came from about the Galactic Federation, and give a UFO investigator credit for the theories he posed, and this is something that me and Tracy run into a lot, is our work. It's really hard to get credit for our work, so I'm here to defend Dr. Stanton Friedman, who's now deceased, who is the author, or at least as I could see, one of the main individuals who came up with this theory about the Galactic Federation. And just sitting here in the office, this is the headquarters where Tracy and I operate UFO Seekers. But I'm just going to run and read through the Galactic Federation information right now with you, and we're going to do it together. So I haven't actually read through this entire article. I've just posted some snippets for you guys through the YouTube community tab. Of course, this doesn't give a lot of context. And one of the main things that has frustrated me a lot about this Galactic Federation theory was the discrediting of human scientists. So I want you guys to know that humanity here on Earth does have value and is great. There are a lot of human scientists and things we have invented, such as clean water, railroads, nuclear technology, the internet, what I'm doing right now, capturing the light, optical light, and it's streaming through this device in data packets through the air. So there is a lot of technology that humanity has developed, and human scientists really should get the credit for that and be viewed in a positive light. So I'm gonna flip the camera around here, and let's take a look at this news article. And so this is the Lebanon Daily Press. This is October 14th, 1976. You can see the date right here up in the corner. So Lebanon Daily News, Saturday, October 16th, 1976. And of course, the man you're looking at right here in the middle is Dr. Stanton Friedman, a nuclear physicist who spent a lot of time investigating the UFO topic and is most well known for his investigations into Roswell. And of course, like I was saying before, this man is now deceased. And so making sure that he gets credit for his theories and his work, I believe is very important. And seeing some of the UFO celebrities out there right now kind of stepping over his work is frustrating. So let's go ahead and read this article. And it's going to start over here. So in this says, scientist engineer poses his own theories on UFOs. Elizabethtown is the city right here. And let's just go ahead. I'm going to start reading down. And of course, I got a touch screen here. So I'll take you guys with me as I read through this. And of course, you're reading it through first with me. So we're going to start right here. And the article goes up to down, left to right. So we're going to start reading right here. And you're going to watch the Galactic Federation unfold before your eyes in 1976. Hello, Scotland. Cheers from the USA. Here we go, starting from the top. Stan Friedman has been enthralling audiences around the country for years with his knowledge of UFO lore. Who is Stanton Friedman? He's a scientist engineer specializing in nuclear physics, having worked for such firms as TRW System in Redondo Beach, California, and Westinghouse Astronuclear Laboratory, Pittsburgh, in the development of nuclear rockets and aircraft. He has also been engaged by Aerojet General Nucleonics, San Francisco, the Allison Division of General Motors, Indianapolis, and General Electric's Aircraft Nuclear Propulsion Department. The holder of bachelor's and master's degrees in physics, Friedman has lectured before audiences in more than 46 states and Canada. His articles on UFOs have appeared in several technical journals, frequently receiving approval from fellow scientists. He has been the focus of interviews by such radio and television personalities such as Tom Snyder, Steve Allen, David Susskind, and Lou Gordon. And here we go, extraterrestrial power. And after all that, it may be surprising to some that Stanton Friedman is not a flying saucer skeptic. In fact, he believes quite strongly that UFOs are guided by beings from beyond the Earth's solar system. The Daily News had the opportunity to talk with Friedman prior to his on-stage lecture Monday night at Elizabethtown College. I'm not reading right now, just a comment. So again, this is 1976, and we're reading through this to give you a peek into where the Galactic Federation came from. And you're going to see it unfold right now. And we're going back right here. The Daily News asks him, assuming that UFOs are of an extraterrestrial origin, why are they always flying around our planet? Friedman, well, we have no way of knowing how many visits by UFOs we have on this planet. For all we know, this might be the least visited planet in the neighborhood. In my paper at the ALA, American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, symposium last year, I gave 28 reasons for visiting Earth. They range from the sublime to the ridiculous. The aliens may be graduate students doing their thesis work on the development of a primitive society or specimen gatherers for an extraterrestrial zoo. They work for the FIA, the Galactic Federation Intelligence Agency. They're advanced men for a space Hilton. This is the last place the aliens can go hunting and fishing without a license. This corner of the galaxy is the honeymoon capital, or they're punished by being made to spend 2 weeks near Earth. The Daily News. Would you say that the aliens are deliberately avoiding direct contact with people on Earth? Friedman, certainly. Rule number 1 for UFO not has to be make sure he can get home. Obviously, every Air Force in the world would love to get its hands on a flying saucer. They'd make wonderful weapon delivery systems. That's where it's at, the B-1s, F-16s, etc. Secondly, all these jokes about take me to your leader are stupid. There is no leader to be taken to. It's perfectly obvious to the aliens this is a leaderless planet. That is a primitive society whose major activity is tribal warfare. They, the aliens, would be shot at, attacked. They certainly don't want their technology to get into our hands. And who are they going to talk to? What would they want to talk to us for? To find out how to make a mess of a planet? All right, let's go back up here. And we're going to see Galactic Federation mentioned right here. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not like the situation where Margaret Mead goes to live with the natives of Samoa or Jane Goodall lives with the apes in Africa. We, the human race, broadcast radio and television signals all over the place. We put out all kinds of information that's accessible via instrumentation. Our telephone conversations are now being sent out by microwave. If the Russians can monitor us by satellite, certainly the aliens can. So what do they need to come down here for? They're obviously not here to say, hey, Joe, let's have dinner together because we want to tell you all the secrets of the universe. No, civilization is going to give its secrets away to primitives. And that's what we are obviously. It would be amazing if they did come down and say, hi, fellows, take me to your leader or anything. But I can't imagine them dealing with individual countries getting mixed up in this tribal warfare. Wouldn't any advanced civilization want to keep tabs on the primitives who haven't solved their sociological problems that are going to be tramping around out there? And that may become the Genghis Khan of the galactic neighborhood instead of just their own planet? Daily News. Since the aliens are presumably watching us all the time, do you believe that they're ready to act should we take our spacecraft too far? Friedman. Yes, if we'd send a manned starship out, they'd certainly be concerned, or if we're going to set up a colony someplace. Daily News. Is it feasible that within the next 25 to 50 years, mankind will launch a starship? Friedman. Sure. But the first spacecraft system will be primitive, so it'll be slow that by the time we get to the second system ready, it it will be able to catch up with the first system. Daily News. Are you talking about a faster than light space drive? Friedman, no, you don't need to travel faster than speed of light. One of the worst myths about UFOs and travel to the stars is the whole business regarding the speed of light. There are published papers showing that trips to nearby stars, I mean nearby, are feasible. This is a hell of a difference between 20 light years from Earth and 2 million light years, the distance to the galaxy of Andromeda. Daily News. Is there a chance we might find habitable planets among the nearby stars? Friedman. Sure, within 52 light years of Earth, there are 1,000 stars, roughly. And of these 1,000, 46 seem to meet the criteria for probably having planets and life. And if there has been more colonization among other races, we could probably expect life around all of those. Daily News. Suppose we get our starcraft built and head out into the great beyond, running head-on into a superior alien technology. Do you suppose they'll welcome us or tell us to go back home? Friedman, well, they'll probably say that there are certain rules we'll have to abide by before we can join the Galactic Federation. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. See, so this guy, a UFO investigator, right, who's posing his theories on UFOs, right, and he had given, where is it here, right, he had been at the, where does it talk about his paper? Let's look at that again. Right here. In my paper at the American Institute of Aeronautics and Aeronautics Symposium last year. So I'm assuming that there may be a paper at this place, if it exists or somewhere, if there's somewhere where this symposium would be documented, like in a museum or somewhere, that's where we would see this from. So maybe this individual, Professor Ished right now from Jerusalem, who's claiming that he's the one who knows about the Galactic Federation, knew about this symposium paper that Stanton Friedman gave, right? And here again, let's look at this. The aliens may be graduate students. This is part of his reasons that he wrote in the symposium paper. To work on development of a primitive society or specimen gatherers for an extraterrestrial zoo. They work for the FIA, the Galactic Federation Intelligence Agency. So then let's go back up here where we were just at. Right, and again, Friedman mentions right here, before we can join the Galactic Federation or whatever, they'll tell us that we are the Johnny-come-lately and that we aren't entitled to a representation because we don't even have a planetary government. They tell us they don't want freeloaders walking all over the place. Yes, I think they'd put up a complaint. You don't let strangers walk in and take over or attack or destroy or do any of those other things that we, the human race, tend to do. Think of the American Indian situation as a prototype. You know, the Western Europeans pop over and kick them out and kick them around and move on in. But what if the shoe had been on the other foot? What if the American Indians had had the advanced technology? Then what? He would have said, fellows, you want in? You meet our standards. Any sophisticated civilization uses its resources to solve its problems, not to clobber its own people, which is what we do. Our defense budget is $115 billion. It's absurd. We have a planet with problems, and what we're doing is feeding our generals' egos. So, I don't like doing this at all. And I don't even want to talk about this stuff. But it's like the running rampant hoaxers out there just seem to kind of take credit for everybody else's work. So The audience that is watching this video and the audience that watches our YouTube channel is the most educated UFO audience out there, period, hands down. And that's because we go out in the field and spend time sky watching. But when people are out there making public claims, claiming they have the secret knowledge that the peasants can't know, being me and you, because we're the non-educated, non-Harvard degree holding individuals. That's why we're covering this stuff, because I want you to know that you're not a peasant. You do have a self-worth, and you're an important person. And there isn't some reason why there's some alien cult out there rejecting you from the secret knowledge or the golden tablets that they supposedly have. Okay? But on top of that, even if something is true, let's give credit to the people who did it first, or came up with the theories and posed the theories. And then moving on beyond that, this is a UFO investigator. So think about the Jerusalem space program guy literally taking a UFO investigator's theories. He's just taking the UFO investigator's theories. And this is something that I've dealt with majorly, is because I'm not part of aviation seekers or star seekers or star picture seekers. My voice doesn't count. And Tracy and I, our footage, so for some reason has no value, right? So when I take a picture of an airplane, because I'm a UFO person, an aviation photographer takes a picture of an airplane, and that's the real picture. It's not the UFO guy. Now, why does that happen? It's because UFO investigators like us don't stand up to the people stealing our credit. And that's what I'm doing here. Dr. Stanton Friedman may be dead, Professor Eshed. Okay, Friedman may be dead, Professor Eshed, but that does not give you the right to steal his theories. Okay, and you should apologize, Professor. Okay, you should apologize. And the funny thing is this isn't the only place we're going to find this. Okay, there was a show in the 1980s, and let's see if I can bring this up here. We're going to look at one more article here, and I'm going to show you guys a television show. And I don't know if this television show took the information that Friedman had talked about. Okay, I'm bringing it up here. I'm going to flip you around. Okay, I want you to see this here. This is a newspaper article from 1982. I'm going to show you it right here. The Times leader, February 23rd, 1982. Okay. Now, this is a television programming directory. Because for all you youngins out there, before we had the internet, people like me had to actually read the newspaper to find out what was going to be on. So I want you to see right here. It's called The Tomorrow People. Now, this was an 80s television show, which is not popular in our day. So I don't even know if people know about it. Now, this Tomorrow People was based around the Galactic Federation. And as we can see here, it says in the episode that's coming, The Tomorrow People, War of the Empires, Mike and Sway Tai pay a visit to the President of the United States, and John and Elizabeth appeal for help to the weird monsters who make up the committee of the Galactic Federation. Okay? So beyond Dr. Friedman, I don't know if he's the one who started this Galactic Federation, but as I showed you, he gave a symposium paper as a scientist, and that was 76. So now we're in 82, and there's a Hollywood television show, The Tomorrow People, based on the Galactic Federation. Oh, see, someone right there says they remember, right? You remember. Okay, that's what we're here to do as UFO investigators. If we want the UFO topic to be taken seriously, seriously, not a joke that people laugh at. And that's what it has been for years. And it had been flipped. It had literally been flipped. And now it is going into the flushed again. Because for some reason, there's a lot of people out there who want fame more than to give you the truth, okay? I don't get it, okay? I don't get it. Let's look one more time. I'm going to show you one more of these tomorrow, people episodes. I know someone on there said they remember, so let's look it up again. Let's see. Here's the Sioux City Journal. So this is Iowa. This is 1983. We're going to look in another television directory right here. It's got it blurred out. Here, let's go. Look, here's all the way in 1987. Oh, no. Yeah. There's one more article I wanted to show you guys. I totally forgot about this one. Oh, this is great. No, this is great. Oh, yeah. Oh, this one is good. Is this it? Yeah, this is the one. I'm so glad I found this because you guys are going to want to read this too. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. So this is an article that's coming from page 1A. Right now we are on page 8 of the newspaper. This is Fort Myers, Florida, August 15th, 1987. We're reading this article here. So we're just going to start right here. But its underlying beliefs are complicated and controversial. Arglelis teaches and Colhane believes that the ancient Mayan civilization was a research post for aliens from outer space who planned to bring Earth into a galactic federation with 6 other planets. These aliens allegedly left their wisdom behind in complex Mayan calendar, which Argellus claims to have deciphered. According to Argellus, on August 13th, 3113 BC, the Earth entered a galactic beam in charged field capable creating it's almost like that wasn't written right. A charged field capable of creating a heightened ability for living creatures to communicate and cooperate. When this galactic beam has done its work, the Earth will be initiated into the Galactic Federation and will enter a new age of peace and harmony. Ogallis wrote, okay, he set Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday as the dates this would begin to occur, and he has called on people around the world to direct their psychic energy towards helping the world along the path to peace. Other American Indians' beliefs are also supposed to be realized during this period. Argellus marked Monday as a day when the Hopi prophecy will be fulfilled as 144,000 spiritual teachers appear on Earth to guide the human race. He predicts that the events that began Sunday will culminate in the year 2012, when the human family will unite in unconditional love for all living things, while some New Age enthusiasts have predicted that the skies will fill with UFOs as the Earth joins the Galactic Federation. Cool, Hane. Okay, and I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing, okay? Remember, when I'm reading this, I'm not laughing at this and the theories from the Native Americans. I'm not even laughing at the guy who's posing this theory. I'm laughing at you, Professor Eshed, who stole these people's work. Okay, and you should apologize because it's unbelievable. And the Jerusalem Post, and this is the funniest part, is that the Jerusalem Post, who supposedly has journalists working at the news organization, they didn't even think to search newspapers for other journalists who had come before them to verify if any of this information was being copied or stolen from someone else. They didn't. No one. I don't even get it. And do you see how this prophecy goes to 2012? And we all know how that worked out because we're all kind of that age. It didn't quite work out that way. There was no peace, but that's okay. And we're not laughing at the theories that are in here. We're trying to protect the credibility of real UFO investigators. So when we started, we covered with Dr. Friedman, who talked about the Galactic Federation. Then we went, that was 1976. Then we went to the early 80s and we looked at the Tomorrow People, the TV show, which talked about the Galactic Federation and the Earth not being up to the standards to join the Galactic Federation. And now we're in 87, and we have another individual talking about Native American theories. Okay? Native American theories about the Galactic Federation. So I want you, as friends, okay, not as cash cows, because I'm not here to make a cash cow out of you. I'm here as a friend to help you find the truth, because I was the most deceived of anyone. And when Tracy and I started investigating the UFO topic, I promise you, I believed every single thing. You could literally just show me a pyramid, and I would never give credit to the ancient culture that built it. And literally, I feel really bad about that now. And for some reason, it always targets brown people, brown-skinned people. For some reason, the Hollywood tells us that those people couldn't even understand engineering and math to build their own monuments and pyramids. And so a lot of the times, if we just give credit to an alien race and theory, we're taking credit from ancient cultures and people who deserve to get that. So let's just continue on reading this, because I hadn't even read through this one either. So it goes on to say that Jose says that we must just surrender and be available to whatever wants to occur, she said. Believes we'll send up a unified force field to the galaxy to let them know we are ready. Colhan's view is that beings on other planets will send knowledge to solve the Earth problems through dreams and apparent spontaneous inspiration. Scholars of Mayan, Aztec, and Hopi religious history wish the New Agers well in their quest for peace, but say the harmonic convergence is a white middle-class distortion of American beliefs. I didn't even read that. And I didn't even read that. And they just repeated what I had just told you. Okay? There are some people who see you as a cash register, okay? And they want to push the button and push your button, and they want bills to come out, and they want money from you, okay? I'm here to help you find the truth, because I was deceived more than anyone when this started, okay? I was the biggest Ancient Aliens fan and could watch any episode of that and never questioned anything. And it's almost like hard and upsetting to find this stuff, because think about this, my friends. The next time a UFO celebrity starts talking to you about the Galactic Federation, and I know that there's a really big UFO celebrity going on an interview tonight talking about the Galactic Federation, claiming they verified a statement of a statement of a statement of a statement. They're stealing Native American religious history. They're stealing theories written by Stanton Friedman in that symposium paper that he wrote about 28 sublime and integral reasons aliens would want to come to Earth. And then I want you to think about the Tomorrow People TV show, which operated on a Galactic Federation and Earth not being in it, and the Galactic Federation wanting Earth to come in it. So I just want you to see things as I see them, because I love you guys and I love humanity. I have so much respect for scientists and other human beings on this earth who have developed stealth technology, the internet, cell phones, this optical video camera, which is capturing light, putting it into data packets, sending it through a wire to you guys, wherever you are, all around the world. It's incredible and amazing what humanity has been able to do, and we should all be proud of that. We shouldn't look at ourselves and hate ourselves. We shouldn't look at our countries. We shouldn't look at our fellow men and women and despise them. We should love them And we should appreciate all of the scientists who've given their lives before us to create the things that are bringing us together right now. Those things are important. I had met someone yesterday, a group of Hispanic gentlemen, and if they're watching or they watch this, they'll know who I'm talking about. And we had a long, deep conversation about that, about this specifically. It wasn't about the Federation, but it was about me trying to help them understand that sometimes a lot of people get caught up in a theory that they need to search out in the universe to find answers to their life. And I'm telling you, the answers to life are right in front of you. They're right in front of you. Your friends, your family, your household, your career. All of those things are important. You can't get caught up in propaganda and feel a low self-worth or low self-esteem. You should be very proud of who you are, and you should want to seek out a career, jobs, or charity, or doing something to make this world better, just like I'm doing right here. I could so easily just jump on the UFO celebrity bandwagon. Remember that, guys. I could just jump on the bandwagon and go do hundreds of interviews. Oh, the Galactic Federation, the Galactic Federation, and step right over to Stanton Friedman and not even give him credit. Or I can have an honest conversation with you and try to help you guys find the truth. That's what we're all doing. So let's just go through this article real quick, because I didn't even read it, and I'm just really stoked that they kind of said that, took that hit at the white middle class there, because that's kind of how I feel. But being, a white person myself, I don't really want to come off that way. So yes, and there is a truth out there, and that's what we're trying to find. But we're never going to find truth if we get caught up in propaganda, and that's what we're doing. So this is not a Native American event at all. And remember, we're looking at right now a newspaper from 1987 from Florida, and we're reading about theories on the Galactic Federation. You can see it right there, the Galactic Federation. So let's just continue on real quick. This is not a Native American event at all, said Samuel Gill, who teaches on American Indian religions at the University of Colorado or Boulder. It's a Western New Age kind of event. I hold everyone's views to be valid, but I try to identify whether an event is based on the historical record or on our own cultural needs. Most of what people see in the Native American record is what they want to see, not what is really there. Okay, and remember, we're actually reading from Native Americans right now. So let's go over to the next section here. Argelis's notions about the Mayans are not supported by any scholarship Nancy Troick knows of. Troick, an ethnohistorian, runs the Mayan workshop at the University of Texas in Austin. If an ancient Mayan showed up at one of the sites for the harmonic convergence, he wouldn't know what was going on, she said. The whole thing seems to me like a scam. Oh my gosh. Of some sort, she said. It's total... where I'm at. Sorry, I was like reading on the phone, but now. It's a total bastardization of typical Mesoamerican beliefs. Anybody who claims to be able to set dates based on the Mayan calendar is suspect, Troick said. Although scholars are making progress, she said, they don't yet agree that such and such a date on the Mayan calendar was such and such a date on the Christian calendar. Some of the suggested dates for correlation vary by as much as 260 years, she said. Troick is certain the Maya did not conceive of the world's passing into some future galactic age of... Moving over. Of harmony. Their conception of the earth consisted of a small part of Mexico and Central America, she said. It's all utter nonsense as far as the Maya are concerned. Colhan has heard what the academic scoffers have to say, but does not take offense. Although she believes Argelis's research and conclusions are sound, she said, even if he had just made it up. See, even if he had just made it up. So did this guy see it in the Tomorrow People television show and knew about the Stanton Friedman paper because this guy's talking about UFOs, right? But remember, we're not here right now debating on whether or not UFOs are real. And that's kind of what happens in this topic. For instance, I saw a comment on Twitter yesterday where someone said, we were talking about this Galactic Federation issue because I had posted some of these new news articles, but people didn't believe me, which is why I'm here having to use my time to go through and read these articles to you because, hey, but the person said that aliens exist out in the universe. So we're arrogant. We're arrogant to say that they're not, that aliens don't exist. That's not what we're saying. There's two separate questions: aliens existing out in the universe and aliens visiting Earth in spaceships. Okay? Spaceships. So there's two separate issues. Two separate issues. Are aliens visiting Earth in spaceships? Do aliens exist out in the universe? And don't let people, pull wool over your eyes by combining the two things. Okay? All of us believe that with the amount of stars and planets and the size of the universe, that there could be extraterrestrial life out there in the universe. Anyone who doesn't believe that, yes, you could say, hey, maybe you are arrogant. But whether or not they're visiting here on Earth, that's what we're all interested in. So I don't want you to get caught up in mending the two together. They're two separate issues. So, and that should help you find the truth. I mean, hey, we have captured something weird, right? We were in the Sierra Nevada mountains. It was 2017. Of course, these things are hard to find on YouTube, but we caught a little cloudy ball, and I meet people all the time who swear up and down they've been abducted by aliens, they've seen UFOs, and I don't discount any of that. Just remember, if someone tries to say that I'm some bad guy, I'm some bad guy, who's the one going out looking for these things? Who? The guy sitting in his basement, blogging, taking Dr. Friedman's work, taking the Mayan traditions and religious history? That guy cares? Or is it someone who's going out and trying to find it? Someone who, like in our last episode, we had caught those infrared flares at Area 51 on night vision. I could have just easily cut those flares up and delivered it to you guys as a UFO. Delivered it to you as a UFO. But the difference is, I try to help find the truth, and that's what a UFO investigator is. So in my own sightings, I debunked it, and that's what you get. So there was 3 separate times where the Galactic Federation was mentioned in real Stanton Friedman's scientific articles. He's very highly respected UFO investigator. That's why I took this so personal, is giving Mr. Friedman his credit for writing that symposium letter and then delivering it to the Lebanon Daily News. And remember, that was October 16th, 1976, Lebanon Daily News, where that Galactic Federation appeared. And then again, 82, 83, 84, I believe all the way through 87 or something, the Tomorrow People television show was based on the Galactic Federation. And now here in 87, we're looking at something different, Native American history and religious history, and people posing theories about the Galactic Federation. So I believe that Professor Eshed from Jerusalem should apologize. Okay? I know you're not a bad guy, Professor. And I know there's lots of pressure out there from celebrities and Hollywood television channels to do and say certain things, okay? When I went to Roswell with NBC, they literally took like aluminum foil. I'm not going to say who did it, but they brought aluminum foil and they like ripped it up and then threw it all over the place. And they were like, hey, go pick up the aluminum foil and we're going to film you. And I was like, hell no, you're not. There is no way that you were going to have me acting like that to do something. And two, there was another point in when we were filming, when they gathered parts, like some debris they already had, like metal debris, and threw it out and said, hey, go take the metal detector and just go find the thing I threw down, right? They were just like tractor parts, because we were at Roswell, at the Foster Ranch. We were at the actual crash site. So I'm at the building where Brazel and the Roswell sheriff slept that night and shared the beans before they went and picked up the debris. And we're not talking about here Roswell or its validity. We're talking about what happened to me in Hollywood. And so they took like that, those metal parts, and they just threw them out and said, hey, go metal detect and go find the part I just threw out there. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to do that. Is this really what you guys do all the time when you go out on these UFO shows? Is any of it even real? I can't even believe it. And so it's like, oh. So that's what's like different about what Tracy and I have built around UFO seekers, and why I feel it just kind of, is YouTube on Amazon, and that's where it will be. It will never make Hollywood happy, because I was taught by a producer who tried to get me. Yeah, I got like sun coming through the window right here. The sun's going down. Who told me that any Hollywood show has to be 50% real and 50% fake. And that was the moment I decided that we would never, ever, ever jump to that Hollywood level. It's 100% real, okay? But that's also why when I debunk my own sighting, like at Area 51, when we caught those flares, and then I followed it up showing you what infrared flares are. And they're the little red lights when you're looking just like with your eye, and at night, you'll see this little tiny red light and you can't even barely see it. You can't even barely see it. I can see it because we've been sky watching for so long. But then when you turn it on the night vision, it was like these massive glowing orbs. That's an infrared flare. So you have like two types of flares that can get dropped from an airplane. You have a regular optical light flare, which floats with the parachute and then shines light down for everyone to see. And then you have an infrared flare, which is used for the military's night vision. So it's completely dark and they drop this little red thing and you can't even barely see it, but you put the night vision on and you can see the whole landscape. And so it was about educating you guys about what those things are, so that no one could take advantage of you with those videos, because we're all trying to find the truth. And the whole thing about X-Files, which we all love, and it's probably the reason that most of us are here, was that the truth is out there. So it's about eliminating propaganda. It's not a bad thing, and it's not mean. It's called the truth. And that's what we're all here to find. And the more we can get this propaganda out of the way, that's when we start finding real things. So not only do we show you the flares, maybe we'll debunk the sighting of our own stuff, right? Because I don't spend time debunking anything else by anyone, unless it's completely public like this and people are stealing something, which obviously they've stolen from Dr. Stanton Friedman, from the Maya, and from the Tomorrow people. But I also show you civilians who don't get paid, who don't want anything for their story. So we just had posted a gentleman I randomly ran into at a random gas station at a random time while randomly traveling on the road, and he talked about his alien abduction stories. Okay, that's the stuff I love. The guy didn't ask me to help him publish a book. The guy didn't say, hey, I got a script to sell you. He didn't say, hey, will you pay me money to tell the story? In fact, when that happened, I was on the phone talking to Tracy. I had stopped at the gas pump, and I'm talking to Tracy on the phone. And a gentleman had come up on my left, on my driver window. And, the whole COVID thing is like really weird. So it's kind of scary, here in California. Maybe the media makes it scary. I don't know. But anyways, right? We don't want to have too much interaction. So someone came on my left, a younger gentleman, and I was like on the phone, and I was like, sorry, I can't talk to you. But then this guy came on my right, like 5 minutes later, or like 5 seconds later, and just stands there at my window and starts knocking on the window. And I'm like, hey, I'm on the phone, you know, I can't talk to you. And he's literally like, I don't care. I'm gonna talk to you. And he like keeps knocking on the window, and I'm like, okay, babe, I gotta go, and I'm gonna talk to this gentleman. And that's when he's like, hey, I got this wicked stories I want to share with you. We just sit here and listen. And so I sit there and I listen, and he doesn't want anything from me. He doesn't want anything from you. It helps his conscience deliver it, and it helps him by me putting in a digestible, organized format for everyone to watch it, for him to go back to it if he forgets about it, and then also for anyone else who's had experiences to see that there's someone else who shares that. Has shared that experience or has similar beliefs, and that's what I care about. You know, I really don't care about people who want to make money from this topic, or it's pretty offensive to me. It's really offensive. And like I said in the beginning, don't feel bad if you get caught up in believing in something, because celebrities have power, influence, and we just need to protect ourselves from that. And so that's kind of what we're here, is we're here to develop armor with our intelligence, and develop an armor to protect us from incoming weapons, which may be propaganda and not quite the truth. And so with what I've shown you, I'd like to say rest in peace, Dr. Friedman. The UFO community now knows that symposium information you delivered. And then also for Native Americans, there you can see we've protected your cultural history. And then for Hollywood, who I don't even like Hollywood at all. I've helped protect someone who has probably a copyright on the Galactic Federation, right? So, but yeah, that's about it. Oh, I thought I'd share this with you guys. And the problem was I just posted news clips yesterday, like I said, in the community tab in YouTube. But then I saw again this morning, and I posted a bunch on social media about these articles I found. And I thought that would be the end of it, that these celebrities, you know, wouldn't have the gall to kind of keep going with the hoax. So let's hope now they have a little, you know, I don't even know what you call it, like credibility maybe, or, you know, just at least give people credit for this, and then say like, hey, there's also this guy, Professor Eshed, who has taken the Galactic Federation again. But see, they don't even say that. They erase the Native American history, they erase the Hollywood TV show, and they erase Dr. Stanton Friedman's symposium information, and then they just go, hey, this guy made it all up. And the Jerusalem Post makes all their web clicks, all their clickbait, and their Google revenue. And I'm not a big fan of that. So, but yeah, I'll probably try to get out and skywatch tonight or something for you guys. So the weather has been up and down here in California, really cold. It's been like freezing and really windy, but that's about it. So I'm just here in the office. This is where a lot of the action happens for UFO seekers. You can see like topographical maps back here, and you can see our little YouTube thing we got there for the this is about the only thing we have. Oh, it's the 100,000 subscribers or whatever on YouTube. Interesting. I almost threw it away the other day. But yeah, up in the back here I have like a bunch of topographical maps. This is where we can check out Area 51. Like up there is the Nevada Test and Training Range. So we have like all the areas on Area 51. This is one of my favorites. This is Ridgecrest. We go here a lot and take you guys to this area. So right here is Ridgecrest. Let me turn the light on right here. Come on, light. So, and you can see this is China Lake Naval Weapons Station. Here's like the city of Ridgecrest. And this is all in the Mojave Desert here. And this is Death Valley. So you can see Death Valley up here in the purple. So, and this is China Lake Naval Weapons Station, and then the China Lake Naval Weapons Station Electronics Combat Range. Trona Pinnacles right here, the city of Trona. This is where you enter Death Valley, and once you got up there, this is like the south side of Death Valley and where the sign would be. So it's really nice to have like these topographical maps to show you the borders and areas. Like for instance, this is where you can see there's a Navy road that runs between the two China Lake facilities. And then of course here, this is the Nevada Test and Training Range, and you can see how Death Valley continues on. And then here's where we have like the Nellis Air Force Range, the Nevada Test Site. And of course, Area 51 right here. There's Groom Lake right there. So these things are really good, you know, and this is how you can find those little corners. So like this is where Groom Lake Road is, right? And Groom Lake Road comes in from the extraterrestrial highway. Like the black mailbox is just right up here. So you can really find like these little corners and get yourself close to these positions. And this is how, you know, we know that's the closest spot you can get to Area 51. That's where that Groom Lake Road entrance is. Yep, Death Valley. See, this is from Area 51, the top secret base. That's what you get at like the Alien Research Center. So, and there's like real research going on here, okay? This isn't some, hey, I'm just gonna go on and take someone else's stuff, right? So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in, and really appreciate all your support, and hope you learned something today, which is by far the most important, so that we can all learn the truth. So take care, guys, and look for a video coming soon.